Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bretcast Anime Talk. So I took some time and I watched the Pokemon the movie I Choose You, and I just have so many questions as this whole movie really didn't make any sense to me. Also, spoilers ahead for this movie. So originally before I saw this movie, I thought it being about Ash, it would be some sort of, quick retelling of his Kanto adventures. But after seeing this movie, it really isn't that at all. In fact, it barely has that many Kanto region Pokemon or characters in it, and that kind of just bugs me a little bit. It has some stuff from Gen 1, but it really goes by too quick. The movie starts with Ash meeting, we get to meet Ash, and him getting his Pikachu, and what Ash goes through to actually get Pikachu to like him and all that, the thunderstorm and rescuing it from all the whatever them bird things were called, Spearow, something like that. And that's fine because that's how they did it in the anime. And one odd thing to note is that the professor actually gives him a Pokeball that Pikachu is supposed to go into, and it's just a regular Pokeball, but it has like a little lightning symbol on it, which I'm like, okay, I don't think that's right, but whatever. But yeah, that's how the movie starts, that's how the anime starts. And then you get opening credits, and then after the opening credits, we cut right to Ash and Pikachu gaining their third gym badge, and Pikachu just knows the move Iron Tail already, like, okay, I guess we're just supposed to believe that without questioning it. This kind of thing happens a lot, like when Ash's Charmeleon evolves into Charizard and it just happens to know the move Dragon Rush. Like, hold on, no. You don't just automatically know a move like Dragon Rush. Other things from the original anime is the Butterfree part, where Ash has to give up his Butterfree. And the introduction of the movie's rival, Cross, who is the trainer who leaves his Charmander in the rain because it's too weak, and weak Pokemon are useless, and Cross is just an asshole. But yeah, for being a retelling of Ash's journey, it didn't feel like it took place in the Kanto region at all. There's a point in the movie where Ash loses one battle against Cross, who used an Incineroar. Someone's been to the Alola region. But then Ash has this whole character moment in which he imagines a world without Pokemon, and I don't even know where this came from. But by losing one battle, you're just... Keep it together, Ash. He just complains and complains, and he says then that Pikachu could have won even though Charmeleon lost, and I don't know, it was just very oddly placed moment. You don't lose your entire mind after losing one battle. So Ash's companions are different in the movie, but they serve basically as Discount Brock and Misty. We have Verity, who travels with a Piplup. Yeah, not Gen 1. As Sorrel, what the fuck kind of name is that? Who travels with a Lucario, who also isn't Gen 1. Both of those are Gen 4 or later on. Verity is basically Discount Misty because she uses and likes water-type Pokemon and is just as annoying as Misty and all that. Now, we don't get much of a backstory for Verity other than where she's from. Her mom is a famous Pokemon trainer. I think Verity does, really impresses her mom, but it doesn't work. And, it's sad. She's not impressing her mom, blah, blah, blah. It's not like they show who Verity's mom is, so why would anyone care? Sorrel is like Brock because he wants to be a Pokemon professor. There's the rival Cross, who, as I've said, is an asshole who thinks strong Pokemon are the only Pokemon that are worthwhile. Plus the whole thing Cross just contradicts in the anime because in the movie, he's the trainer that leaves the Charmander out in the rain, and in the anime, a different trainer does the same thing. So it's Ash has met now 2 trainers who left their Charmanders out in the rain. A big thing I had with the movie is that it doesn't feel like it takes place in the Kanto region. Aside from Caterpie and its evolutions, Charmander and its evolutions, and Pikachu, there's not that many other Gen 1 Pokemon in the movie. They don't ever really say what region they're in, and that's part of the problem because the movie feels like a mix of Johto and Sinnoh, Gens 3 and 4, just because there are more Pokemon from Gen 3 and 4 over Gen 1. I also find it hard to believe that Ash would have been able to handle something like this, the whole plot of the movie, only having 3 gym badges, because that was where they were when he started the plot of the movie. Sure, he's got Discount and Misty and Brock with him, but there's no way he could have done this without them. The whole Finding Ho-Oh plot felt like the part of the story that happens right before you fight the Elite Four in the video games. And also, what the heck happened with Marshadow? At first they said it's like with the feather, that if an evil heart touches it, it drains the color, but Marshadow will come and he'll put the energy back in the feather, so everything's fine. And then at the end of the movie, Marshadow's the main freaking villain. Also, the ending. Ash dies and goes to some sort of afterlife, and Pikachu saves him somehow. Pikachu also speaks for some reason, and eventually brings back Ash from his weird afterlife. One thing too is that this whole adventure, Ash basically uses 2 Pokemon. I would have said 3, but he had to let his Butterfree go, so in that rushed moment of that moment. So Ash goes through all of this using Pikachu and Charmander plus evolutions. Oh, one thing I forgot too is that they don't really give a backstory for Sorrel, just that he's never really trusted Pokemon or gained attachment to Pokemon because of his sad backstory where his parents were away and it was just him and the family's Luxray, and then he went out in the cold and snow on his own and took a nap, and then the Luxray found him and warmed him up while he took his nap in the snow, and then he wakes up and is getting dragged away from a Luxray that's not moving because it died because it froze to death. Yeah, that's real kid friendly. Enough complaining. I don't really know how I feel about this movie. The animation style was nice and what we come to expect from these movies. The plot was just all over the place and didn't feel like the Kanto region at all. See, I'm not a strict Gen 1 Pokemon fan because I didn't get back into the games until Gen 7, and I enjoyed Gen 7. I just don't know. Perhaps they rushed those canon moments as to say, yeah, you already know this stuff. I do know that between this movie and the Pokemon Origins movie, I like Origins a lot more over this movie. It's not a bad movie by any means if you can deal with there being very little of the Gen 1 canon stuff in it. It seems more like it's for people who like the newer Gen Pokemon stuff over the older ones. And that's fine, because there's probably more newer Gen Pokemon fans over the older ones. So, if you really want to watch it, go ahead. It's on Netflix. You can watch it there. That's where I watched it. So, that's all I have to say. So, if you want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.